Hi, my name is Steven Burrington. My friend Susan Noss and I were on vacation in Tennessee for a week. We both worked together at an agency in Red Deer, Alberta, Canada, as support workers for adults with special needs. Being from Canada, I'd never seen a cotton farm before, so made a point of going to see one on this trip. On Wednesday, September 11th, 2019, Susan and I drove from Nashville to D&J River Farms to see a cotton farm near Flintville, Tennessee. It was a very nice, scenic drive, and we drove through the city of Fayetteville, Tennessee to get there. The D&J River Cotton Farm is in southern Tennessee, close to the Alabama border. We met Juliana Ogle there. She and her husband Josh run the farm with other family members. She was a very nice and friendly and gracious host. She drove us around the farm in her large SUV to see the different fields where the cotton was growing at different heights and stages. We were there a bit early in the cotton growing season, so the cotton wasn't really high yet. They hold a cotton picking day event each year in October for the community. She was very informative and explained the different growth stages of the cotton plant. For example, flower to boll to cotton. As we were leaving, we noticed one of the trucks there fully engulfed in flames. Thankfully, she later told us no one was in it. Thank you, Juliana, for showing us around. We had a great time and learned a lot. The tour was more than we could have asked for. The upcoming video segment will start with Susan and I driving down roads leading up to the farm. Then you'll see Juliana begin our tour. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, now we turned onto Flintville Road. We have to go for 4 kilometers. And when we turned, I noticed cotton. It was sort of in bloom. So hopefully we'll actually see some cotton. Let's just go down here a little ways. And Susan can turn it on. Just go up around the side for Susan.
Turn it off?
No, not yet.
Oh.
Left turn in 3 kilometers on Walsley Road.
Okay, you can turn it off now. Okay, do you want me to do it? This is Mason Road.
See, you're supposed to be good.
Yeah, there's no cops around here.
Steve's being bad again.
Almost there, but we got to this small little road. Mason. How far till we get there, Susan?
4.
4?
1.8 you have to turn. Turn it.
Okay, now we gotta go in this little, it's turned into gravel. 1.2. Susan's scared that a herd of animals are gonna run in front of you. Aren't you, Susan?
Yes, I am. Watch what you're doing.
Now it's paved at least. But it's like a bike path almost. We passed a sign that said piglets for sale. And then they had a chicken coop.
Approaching right turn on Masonsville Road, followed by a left turn.
Steve,
Okay,
did you hear that? Dangerous curve.
Coming to a dangerous curve and we're turning on Stewart Chapel Road.
This is some great turn.
Oh my god, this is so dangerous. Yeah.
Destination on the right in 0.6 kilometers. Stewart's Chapel Road.
6 kilometers. 1 6. What did you say left?
There's some cotton right there.
I don't know where it's supposed to be, Steve.
Approaching destination on the right.
On the right.
Take it easy, Susan.
Okay, this might be the
Right here.
Thanks. On one closer here.
Is this it?
I think up one more.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Maybe that was it. I think it's the next one.
You have arrived 247 Stewart's Chapel Road.
Is this it?
This is probably it.
So maybe that was it.
Let's see.
Is there a house here? It's not on the right. Maybe that was it. Unless it's up there.
That
See,
could be it too.
Better phone. Better phone and see
There's some
where
cotton
it is.
right there.
Tell me where this thing.
Oh, just wait, what's this? Oh, there it is. D&G River Farms.
This is it?
Yeah. See, there's a flag, and there's a rock, and there's cotton behind it.
Oh, there's a cotton.
Oh, and then we go up there.
There's cotton.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so look at there's actually cotton. That's so cool.
Is that the house?
Yeah. D&G River Farms. Okay. The lady's inside. Her name's Juliana. And she's been expecting us. It's hot out here, but not too bad. Susan's worried about her purse, but that's okay. Susan's going to carry her purse in the field.
No.
Susan. See what I have to deal with. Just kidding.
Okay. You tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Juliana Ogle.
Juliana Ogle, D&J River Farms. I farm with my husband and my mother and father-in-law. And so this is our 19th crop. We started D&J in 2001.
Oh.
My husband's dad, my father-in-law and two brothers farmed together for like 30-something years. So
Yeah.
when they retired and split theirs, they each kind of farmed with their sons now. So
Cool.
long family history of farming. Our cotton, we usually pick cotton around, it's closer to October. So we're really close to, we defoliate it, which gets all the green leaves off of it and helps to open the rest of the bolls. So
Okay.
we're within like a week to a week and a half of starting to spray defoliant to make it really start turning white.
Oh.
So you're a little bit early on.
That's okay. I could see some on there, so I'm excited.
Yes. And I've got a couple forms I'm going to take you where you can see a little bit better as far as, more what it looks like when it's all open.
Oh, okay.
So, and then we farm cotton, corn, soybeans, and wheat. So right now we're shelling corn, trying to get it finished.
Okay.
And sometimes we're in the cornfield when we're in the cotton field, and then we're in the cotton field when we're harvesting soybeans too.
We're
So-
noticing a lot of cornfields on the way here.
Yes.
And they look kind of dry to us.
Okay,
though.
so
Are they
yeah, so the corn has to dry down. It's not like if you've got corn in
Oh.
your garden and it's green, where it's soft, the corn has to dry. We have to get most of the moisture out of it before we can shell
Oh.
it. So yeah, the stalks look dry and brown, but that's what we need it to be.
Because it's not corn that the
No,
people,
it's
more for feed or...
it'd be more for feed or for like if you were for to do cornmeal, to ground
Okay.
to cornmeal. So it
Okay.
has to be a drier corn.
That makes
it's not
sense.
like eating it off the cob
Yeah.
corn.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
So, So we're kind of in, start of harvest, but really start of our very busy time.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and then we have an old-fashioned cotton picking day that we host every year, and this will be our 12th year, I think.
So that must usually be in October?
It's usually the first week to 2 weeks in October.
We were in Nashville 2 years ago, and it was October.
Yeah.
And we're headed towards Memphis, and we saw cotton fields.
Right.
But
So.
didn't know where we could stop really to see it.
Well, we love for people to come, so.
Yeah.
Love for people to visit, but so I will show you some pictures, maybe
Okay.
if I can get them to pull up on my computer,
Sure.
of what this farm looked like a couple years ago when it was in full, ready to be harvested, white cotton.
Okay.
And then we'll drive around and kind of look at some stuff.
Oh,
and let
cool.
y'all visit.
Thank you.
So, you're welcome. The cotton doesn't look just the best, but when it's ready to pick, this was on this farm, but on the opposite side from where we have cotton this year. But this is what the modules. Let me go back. I'll explain that. One of the case cotton picker that we do, it packs it into this big module, so it's like a kind of a loaf of bread that's sitting on the side of the road.
Right.
We have to put a tarp on, and then we mark it with our name and our farm number.
That's pretty big, eh?
Yeah, it's big. And they pick it up on trucks. And then this is the seed house at the gin. So when they gin the cotton, ginning is, of course, it's separating the lint, which is the white fluffy stuff,
Right.
and it's got seeds in it. And I can show you all that here in a minute. But so they separate it all out. So they blow all the seed into warehouses. So this is the seed house at the gin where we gin our cotton. And these, you can see, these are some more of the big modules.
Right.
And this is what a bale of cotton looks like. That it's wrapped in plastic, of course, but once it's been ginned and they're going to the storage warehouse. And this is, I'll show you our cotton pick. This is our case cotton pickers. This is what makes that one module that I just showed you. That's my father-in-law in the middle. It's my husband. He was,
Which one's?
This one right
Is
here.
yours husband?
He was bearded up at that time.
Cool.
But this is one of our sons from cotton picking day. So.
How long have you done the cotton picking days? Like
So this will be our 12th year.
12th year? Oh, wow.
I think 12th year, 12th or 13th year
Cool.
to do it. Let's see. Oh, these are from I think these are from cotton picking day. So this is from just snapshots from people at our cotton picking day. This is an old wagon we just set out. People can, as you can see, just.
Cotton went to the house.
Yeah, I know. I got some right here too. So it's been in the office for a little bit, but so this is pretty much kind of what you can see what it'll look like when it's open and in the field. That's going to be the lint, the cotton lint, and then these are what we call the burrs. So this is where the cotton it forms as a bowl.
Yeah.
So it blooms. There's blooms. You might see a few blooms still, and then it'll form that bowl. And so the bowl is what opens up. And the cotton is in. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
History from, hand picking cotton and what they used to do. And then like these are the stages I was talking about. So we plant it, you got seed. They call these squares. So they kind of come into a little, it's really a triangle, but they call them squares. Then it blooms and it'll be like white one day and then pink the next day. Then it forms the bowl. And so when the bowl matures is where, when it opens, it forms the cotton that you're seeing. Then of course the different machinery, but you get down to modern day. So I was talking about how we used to have basket pickers. So the basket pickers would pick, you would dump it into, we call it a mule or a wagon, and they would go and dump it in this module builder. It looked like this huge big loaf of bread.
Julianne's driving us in her truck and she's going to show us around. We just met her mother-in-law.
So we'll pull in right here and we'll at least get out and look at this.
Sure.
I won't make you walk around. I'll pull you to the edge of the cotton. We'll leave it running so it'll cool off.
Yeah.
bottom first. And you see, like, there's an open bowl. It's got 2 more bowls there on that limb. And all these bowls yet to open. Sorry, here, sir. To these bigger bowls that'll open.
Okay, I'll get that on video. So this starts with...
So it starts with that bloom, and it's like, it goes white, yellow, and then it was pink.
Oh,
So
cool.
there's a tiny little bowl right there.
Oh, yeah.
And then it'll form into these little bit bigger bowls.
Uh-huh.
And then more mature bowls to where
Cool.
then it finally opens. The bowl will open.
Cool. I didn't realize it went quite through so many phases.
Yeah. So even though we've got open cotton on the bottom, we've still got these blooms where it's putting on more bowls at the top, and so more fruit. Now whether those will mature and, you know, before we defoliate and all that, it's been a really good growing season for the cotton this year. We've had a lot of hot weather, but we've had rain. Cotton likes hot.
Yeah.
He likes the heat, but we've had enough rain. This farm is irrigated, but even our non-irrigated cotton looks really good, and it's really loaded up with bowls. So that's, you always like that. You always like it when it's loaded up good. Matter of fact, our county fair is going on right now, so we always enter, you know, cotton, corn, everything in the fair. So Saturday we were loading it all up, and my daughter had picked a stalk, and she was like, "I am winning with this stalk of cotton," and my husband told her it was good. So then my uncle works down there some, and he called and he said, "Well, Abby won best of show for field crops."
Oh,
So
good for
out
her.
of all the field crops in the agriculture department, she won best of show with that stalk of cotton.
biscuit from McDonald's?
I think I'm good. Thank you. Bye. But it was just, I looked at it, it was just loaded up with tons of bowls. So she was excited that her stalk of cotton had won best of show.
Your flags are even interesting.
The what?
Your flags.
Oh, our
Second flag.
Yeah,
Oh,
this-
that's our state flag, the Tennessee state flag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's the Tennessee state flag.
It's
And
nice,
the
I
rock,
like
did you
that.
take a picture of the rock out front?
No,
or something?
well, I did on my video, but
Okay.
I'll have to stop by and get a
yeah,
picture.
that
of
my
it.
father-in-law found that rock and he liked it. He was like, "Well, it's kind of shaped like a dinosaur, like an arrow." So he was like, "I'm hanging it up. I'm putting it up at the front." And then he cut out the letters to put on it. So
The fields, just looking at the fields, beautiful. Like it rolls and goes on forever and
yes,
ever.
we have rolling hills here in southern Middle Tennessee. So
And your trees seem more lush and full and dense.
well,
here,
like I
too.
said, we've had a lot of rain this
Yeah.
year. So
Yeah, we have too.
We did too,
We've been
yeah.
fortunate, so everything's. It's a little dry right now. Like we got a little rain last night, and it's not raining in probably two and a half weeks maybe.
Yeah.
So the yards were getting dry and dusty when we were mowing. So, but it's this farm here, which they're all beautiful when they're solid white cotton, but this one there's something about it, just how it rolls, and it's just a sea
Yeah.
of white cotton. I wish I could have found it. I was rushing home to get a shower, and I said, "Grab a granola bar." And then we got home, and Travis was like, "I don't know what happened to mine. I don't know where my granola bar went." So,
Just some people actually fill those sacks up when you do the cotton picking.
they do.
Do they?
Let's see. There's our rock that my father-in-law built.
That's awesome.
They do. They try to. They'll put pick sacks. Sometimes the kids will, they'll get them and then they'll each swap out. They'll pick a little and then they'll swap out.
Or how long would it take them to fill one of those huge
I
sacks?
don't know how long.
Or can they even do it?
Oh yeah, you could, especially if several people were, because usually at cotton picking day, there's several
Yeah.
people.
It's
trying to
more
pick
fun.
and-
They're not trying to fill the bag,
yeah,
right?
it's not. We might have should.
So this is all yours too.
This right here, yes. We on this farm, it's we work around 230 acres here.
Yes.
On this one farm that we own. We do not own, of course, the 5,000 acres. We do not own everything we work. We have a lot of rented ground, but we do. This is our main headquarters, so we own it. My mother and father-in-law live on that farm. built a house. They lived in a house for 30-something years, raised their 4 kids, and then decided they were going to move to another farm that we owned on the river, closer to Fayetteville, and it's real rocky down there, so they were going to have a hard time trying to get.
We just drove through Fayetteville to get here. It was a nice.
Did you come out 64 or did you come down 231, 431?
64.
Okay,
yeah.
so you came past, when you crossed the Elk River, we used to own a farm on the Elk River.
Okay.
That's where they were going to build, and so we were like, we really didn't want them to build out there because they lived closer to here, and this is where we all go to church, and we farm right here, so.
Pleasant Hill Baptist
Pleasant Hill
Church.
Baptist Church, and we're actually building a new
Cemetery.
church. We broke ground on a new church that we're
Are you?
building.
Good for you.
So.
Right there?
Right here.
Oh, yeah.
Right across the road.
Cool.
So, and then this farmland, this is one of my husband's uncles lives in this house over here that
Okay.
used to farm with my father-in-law for 30-something years, and so he has 2 sons and a son-in-law that farm now, and he's like semi-retired. He just kind of goes in when he wants to now. But like these cotton on both sides here, it's 2 other farmers. So there's a lot of farmers in
I
this
like
area.
those trees with the red flowers at the top.
Oh, the crepe myrtles.
Crepe
myrtles.
Crepe myrtles.
So that's a
Yeah.
southern flower.
They had some on Patsy Cline's house too.
Yeah, crepe myrtle.
I see 'em at a
It's very
resort,
southern.
Yeah.
Yes, crepe myrtle.
We're staying at the Wyndham Resort as well, like for the
Okay.
week
Uh-huh.
by the Grand Ole Opry,
Right.
the new one. Yeah,
Okay, well that's
good to
neat.
see a couple.
No, really, there was.
So this corn's
It's-
supposed to be like this,
Yes,
Susan.
it's supposed to dry down and look
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
I thought it was a drought.
Well, I was thinking it can't really be a drought though, because the trees are beautiful.
Yeah,
and
so and even like some corn I was selling the other day, it was it's got a little green in it, but the moisture is it's going to be
Yeah.
higher. So we started shelling corn. Our moisture was around 25%, which is pretty high. I'm going to take y'all to see a cotton field, and then we're going to come back. These are our solar panels here,
Okay.
and then
look
this
at
is our granary and our drying system.
Wow.
We don't own these buildings. This is
Yeah.
this is Josh, my husband's cousin, his 2 cousins and cousin-in-law and the uncle. Now, when we started farming in 2001, this is where the 3 brothers had farmed out of.
More crepe myrtles.
This is an old gin that they bought in the 90s.
oh,
But
neat.
so when my husband and I got married, this is where they all farmed together, right here in this location. A little spot called Van
This
Town.
building looks quite old.
It is. Mr. Van, Mr. Earl, he's passed away now, but he kind of owns. That's the town. The little town is named after him and his family. Van, Vann. So Van Town. Now this is our cotton. We do work
Wow.
this. Like I say, it looks a little thirsty today, but it's also at where my father.
What's this other stuff here?
Kudzu.
Kudzu.
The green all over the trees. It's
Oh.
kudzu. It's a invasive vine, so it just takes over everything when it gets started.
This is so awesome. It's also interesting.
Well, that's
Thank
great.
you so much.
No, you're welcome. Like I said, we love for people to visit.
Do you?
We
Good.
can tell them about what we do and
Yeah.
how we do it. So we do farm both sides of the road right here, different farms. But my father-in-law says it's he doesn't like it when the cotton's getting. If you'll shoot right there, you see it's kind of like a reddish brown color and then a little greener on
Yeah.
the hills. So he calls it the ugly stage. And I told my husband the other day, I said, but it's not really the ugly stage. You know what? I'm gonna put it in.
It's just a bit
It's-
drier, right?
Well, it's not that, but it's turned like the cotton's done. It's ready to be
Oh, this
getting
looks pretty good.
defoliated. Yeah, that's why I was like, oh wait, we'll get out here and look.
Cool.
Still like I said, putting on blooms, putting on squares.
She took us to another spot where these are shorter, right? And they're lighter. Here's Susan. Oh, okay. You take this and then just get me.
Okay, going to the cotton here. Just checking out the cotton. Go all the way down there. Just checking out the cotton. All the cotton in the
If you don't
background.
care, we'll walk out here to like look at roses so that's really good and wild.
Oh, okay, sure. Is there ever pests or snakes or bugs or bad?
Okay, so yeah, we have snakes here and there. Well, really, I mean the snakes aren't in the field as much just because we do spray our crops. We spray for weeds, which I don't know why there's weeds right here. It's kind of weedy, but we spray for weeds. We also spray for pests, for bugs that are going to eat and destroy the cotton.
Is the boll weevil?
The boll
Isn't
weevil.
that
We
one?
really don't have a problem. The boll weevil is really eradicated with just different technologies that they've built into cotton. But we have what they call there's boll worms, boll B-O-L-L, because those are called bolls. That will get in there and hurt them. There's other bugs that will eat on the plant itself, on the leaves. So we do spray pesticides to keep our crop clean, and we spray. So like most of our crop everything's Roundup ready now. I know there's all kinds of things about on TV, or at least here in the States, about Roundup causing cancer and this and that. Now we've farmed with Roundup for years and years, and we could not grow and do what we do without products like Roundup,
right?
Because you have to keep your fields clean and have good quality crops.
So there's the odd snake around here?
Huh?
There's the odd snakes?
Yeah.
Do they give you warning, or what do they?
Well, I mean, there's probably some rattlesnakes here somewhere. I've never seen one in any of our fields. Most of the time what you're going to see is what I call a chicken snake. It's just a non-poisonous generic country snake that my sister hates snakes, so she wants nothing to do with them. But I really don't ever see them. Cotton fields, really, you're going to see them more like the cornfield, grain fields, because of the mice and stuff that like to eat the grain. So you might see them more there, but really it's around the edge of the field or somewhere.
You'll see them.
Yeah, hopefully. Or they just want to get out of your way and not be,
I was just curious.
So that's the lint out of the cotton, and you can feel there's the seeds that are in it.
Oh, okay.
That the gin.
So they have to get that out.
Mm-hmm, when the gin, when it's being ginned, it separates all that lint and gets all the debris. Because of course, when we're picking these dead leaves and stuff, we'll get on it. So the gin is going to clean out all that trash out of it, but it also will separate all these seeds out of the lint itself. So that's why there's a seed. And a lot of the seeds have an oil content. There is an oil content in the seed that they can make cooking oils and stuff. That is not as a big as in our area. The seeds are crushed. They're used in a lot of cattle feed and that kind of stuff is what the seeds are mostly used for. But there is oil content in the seeds as well.
And you know the people that live here, probably, obviously.
Yeah, we do.
You do? Is that your place?
No, they own which we don't own any of this land.
Oh, I
but
see.
They just own a strip of land.
Oh, they
right
own
there.
it on that side.
They don't own the crop that we work over there.
Oh,
or
I
this.
get it.
They just have a strip of land right there that we own. But that's So that's and some of the seeds. If you're a grower to produce seed for the next year's crop.
So you'd save it, right?
They would, what they do is that seed, because it's still got a lot of that, they'll go and they'll be dipped in acid.
Oh.
So it'll get all of that extra lint and everything off and cleaned.
Oh, okay.
If it's a seed that they're keeping for
Yeah, I
production.
held one up.
Yeah, you have one.
Thank you, Susan.
So that's a little bit more about the cotton and the seeds in it. Because certain crops take out certain nutrients.
Oh, okay.
And then other crops don't take out as much. So we soil sample all of our fields every year so we know what to put out. And then
I have a question to ask. Sorry.
no.
So when you're picking the cotton, is there a certain technique?
When we go back, I'm trying to look. I'm running out of time. I'm trying to show. I will show you how the cotton picker has what we call spindles.
No,
Oh,
I
you
mean
mean
like
picking it by
yes, exactly, picking
Well,
it by
I didn't
hand.
grow up picking it by hand, but it's just you pull it like this out of that bowl. So like a lot of people talked about how their fingers would bleed.
Yeah.
So those bowls are they're pointy and sharp. So
Yeah.
imagine doing that all day long, that you're gonna get cuts and blisters
Eventually
and
you get cuts.
yeah. But so that's pretty much it. You're just pulling it. You want hopefully good open bowls like that, and just pull it open, pull it out like that.
Thank you. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
And whose place is this?
This will be, it's called JBH Farm, so it's my husband's cousins
Oh, husband's cousin.
that they farm to. We passed their farm, their headquarters back there in Mantown.
Right.
That was near our shop, our grain bins.
I like all the brick ranch houses out here too.
Yes.
I love brick.
So you can see this has got a lot of white
Oh yeah.
in it. I'm gonna pull over right here and we'll walk across.
Sure.
There shouldn't be any snakes over there. No, those are little bugs. See, so those are little bugs that they would.
Is that something to be concerned?
Well,
for
I mean,
yourself?
this late in the year, not so much.
Yeah.
But when it's in full bloom and not got those bowls on it, then yes, it would be. That would be something that they would look for. And you see how, okay, like this is real green, and then this is kind of not quite as lush and pretty.
Yeah.
That's what my father-in-law says is ugly cotton, but really the cotton's done. It's ready to be sprayed and ready for those bowls to open
Right.
and be ready to pick.
Okay, she's showing us the cotton on the other side here.
Cotton white all the way to the top. It's just, it's so pretty. And this is taller too, so it gives you a little bit better. You can see it starting, you can see white up through the top of it, out through there. So this is really close to being ready to be sprayed and getting ready to harvest.
I should have brought another battery for this stupid. Because by the end of it, there's too many things to see, and then it's like,
Too many things that'll be dead.
I know.
They did inside the farm.
Oh. There's some vultures.
Oh, but it's gonna come. Maybe they'll come back.
It was funny, the fellow at the Patsy Cline house said that was telling me about the vultures and how there was a deer that was hit where he was, and they were all over it, and it made him sick, he said, but I guess we'll forget it.
You couldn't produce crops and stuff on,
Fucking pine trees.
so all these pine trees were planted through that. This farm used to be kind of rough. It used to be an old cattle farm, but my father-in-law and his brothers owned it since the 70s. But this is we call it pond or whatever, but this is an irrigation lake. We have wells that we pump water into this that it holds, so it's a reservoir, but we irrigate out of it, so we suck the water out of it to run our irrigation system on this farm. The pivot is way back over here. I'm trying to take you up here so you can see a little bit better. And this is where my mother and father-in-law wound up building. I never got to that story the other day, but they wound up building here on this farm. So they have a beautiful home and home site here. And so, like I said, we just finished shelling this corn yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm making a detour. I'm going to get this corn so I can show you. I saw an ear of corn. So.
Okay.
So you can see it's dry. Like, I mean, you know, it's not like eating corn on the cob or corn up.
It's something more like that decorative that
yeah,
you can
like
get
Is it
in the
like
store.
popcorn?
No, it's not like popcorn, but it's dry. That's
Oh,
how
okay.
it has to be for us to shell it. So it
Oh, yeah.
it comes off the
Cool.
the clear to be ground for like meal.
Oh, yeah.
For irrigation.
But they sold their old house that they raised their children in. Was little bitty.
Yeah.
So when they built a house, my father-in-law said, I want to have room for my kids and my grandkids. So
Wow,
they
it's
have
beautiful.
they have 4 kids and 10 grandchildren. So
Wow, that is beautiful.
and he built this creek that runs through here. He hauled all these rocks from our other farm. There's like a little waterfall up here.
Yeah,
And they
that'd
built
be a lot of work.
he built all this, but he's got the mind of an engineer, so. And then their driveway goes all the way out to the other road. So. But I have a big bale of cotton sitting right here
Yes.
because one year they said it was too, I don't know, it didn't weigh enough and they weren't going to give us anything for it. And my father-in-law said, well, then we're coming to pick it up. So, but our county fair is going on and they always wanted to put in the ag building, so we had to carry it down there. So it's down at the fair.
My thing's still working, so
Oh,
that's good.
that's great.
I was just checking it out.
When possible, make a legal U-turn.
Okay, so we just got done the cotton tour. As you can see, it was fantastic. And we just passed the Welcome to Alabama sign. So we are now in Alabama. You can see we've been in Alabama. And we're just gonna head to the Parkway Mall or whatever it is. Probably get there in about 40 minutes. Eat there, and then I was thinking of maybe buying a watch there. And then we have to head straight back to Nashville for our General Jackson.